A colossal alien suddenly appears on Earth, tearing through entire countries and wiping out 8 billion people, leaving humanity teetering on the brink of extinction. A man is stuck in traffic with his son, nervously talking on the phone. The father tries desperately to convince someone to take his child for the weekend. Meanwhile, the boy plays with his toy, observing the streets around them. Suddenly, he notices objects beginning to levitate into the air. The man sees it too, and they both step out of the car. Looking up at the sky, alongside other people, they are horrified to see a gigantic monster literally sucking houses into itself. Moments later, enormous insects start falling from the sky. Panicked, people try to escape the creatures, but they catch the unlucky and tear them apart. Grabbing his son, the man tries to flee. After another collapse, the boy ends up trapped under a pile of concrete. The father attempts to pull Faye out, but at the last moment, he glances aside, pulls his hand away, and disappears from his son's sight. Terrified, the boy begins to cry and call for his dad. At this point, a young man wakes up from the dream. He remembers that 20 years ago, on the day Kun appeared on Earth, he was abandoned by his father. The monster destroyed civilization, but the surviving humans found a way out and built underground cities. For all these years, humanity has been desperately fighting the insects, hoping to defeat them someday. The colossal Kun occasionally emerges near the surface, and people try to seize the opportunity to strike it with an electromagnetic cannon. Faye, like many young people, is a flyer. He ventures to the surface and brings back various items. Getting out of bed, he washes up and listens to the news, where the military promises swift action against the monster. Faye doesn't believe them and laughs off their promises. At that moment, there's a knock at the door. Approaching it, he hears Sha demanding he open the door and settle a debt. Without thinking much, he loudly promises to do so, but quickly starts preparing to leave. Dressing quickly, he climbs out the window and descends to the street. To his surprise, the girl's car is parked right behind him. Realizing he can't shake her off so easily, he shows her a backpack full of finds from the surface and promises to give everything once he sells them. But she doesn't trust him and decides to come along, to make sure he doesn't trick her again. On the way to the buyer, she suggests an alternative. He could skip paying the debt and instead take her to the surface. She's never been there in her life and wants to see the ruins. But he refuses, warning it's extremely dangerous, with giant beetles bearing massive teeth everywhere, and that Kun will arrive soon. At that moment, an announcement rings out across the city. Today, a strike will be launched from the Shen station against the colossal Kun. The energy for the attack will be channeled from all underground nodal magnetic stations, giving humanity a chance to finally defeat the monster. Hearing this, the locals rejoice. The project has been in development for 8 years, and the day has finally come. Walking through the streets, Sha excitedly imagines going to the surface after the victory, finally seeing grass, pandas, and sunlight. The young man shatters her dreams, explaining that the surface atmosphere is now filled with smog, there's no sun, and the air is poisoned. Moreover, even if Kun is defeated, the flyers will be out of work. Continuing their conversation, they reach their destination. Leaving Sha at the cafe door, Faye goes inside. There, he finds Boss Ju, who is attempting to eat with his steel hand. Startled by Faye's enthusiastic greeting, the young man announces he's brought new items. However, the reception is far from warm. 2 guards grab Faye and, on Zu's orders, threaten him. Suddenly, a little girl, Zu's daughter, runs into the room crying. She's upset because she has an important concert today, and the chaos has ruined her appearance. After calming the child and promising to attend her concert, the man explains to Faye why he's angry. Recently, Faye had sold him gum from the surface, which the girl chewed, causing the problem with her face. Struggling to reason with him, Faye reminds him the gum is 20 years old and might have gone bad, but Ju is adamant and determined to take revenge. Trying to find a way out, Faye devises a plan. He convinces Ju that he found a unique item on the surface just for him, then pulls a toy beetle from his backpack and tosses it at the boss. Taking advantage of the ensuing chaos, he escapes immediately. Once Ju and the guards realize they've been tricked, they give chase. Faye manages to flee and climbs onto the roof of a tall building, only to find Zu's men waiting there. Cornered, he tries to negotiate, but the men are relentless. Looking down, he continues backing up and, at one point, simply jumps off. The terrified men rush to the edge of the roof and see Faye boldly waving at them while lying atop the roof of a flying car. Climbing into the cockpit, Faye scolds Sha, accusing her of taking too long to come to his aid. But the girl ignores his words, thrilled that they're finally about to fly to the surface. After all, she saved him, and now Faye owes her. Meanwhile, Ju and his assistants watch the departing young man with frustration. Realizing they're about to lose him, the boss sets off in pursuit. Meanwhile, Faye and Sha approach the exit to the surface. Just then, an announcement rings out across the city. Kun is approaching the planet. Suddenly, the girl notices they're being chased and hands control of the vehicle to Faye. Flying out onto the surface, she marvels at the ruins. But her joy is short-lived. Within a minute, a massive beetle crashes onto their car. Terrified, she clings to her friend, hindering his ability to control the vehicle. Somehow, he manages to smash the creature against a wall. At the same time, Zu's car is under attack by the insects. One by one, the monsters drag Zu's men out and devour them. leaving the boss paralyzed with terror, unsure of what to do. Faye witnesses the chaos and decides to help. At the last moment, he scoops up a man leaping from the car and hauls him into his own vehicle. Instead of gratitude, he hears only complaints. Their argument is abruptly interrupted when Sha loses control of the car, sending it hurtling downward at breakneck speed. The vehicle crashes inside a building, and the group climbs out to assess the situation. Sha apologizes profusely, admitting she isn't yet skilled at driving. Realizing it's too dangerous to stay on the surface, the men decide to scout the area while the girl attempts to repair the car. Suddenly, they hear a strange sound. It turns out to be just a cat. But immediately after, they spot a coon approaching behind Sha. Ju hurls a concrete slab with his steel hand at the monster, momentarily disorienting it and giving everyone a chance to escape. But the creature is not about to give up easily and begins chasing its prey. As it closes in on the group, prepared to attack, a special forces team appears through the windows and opens fire. After a tense struggle, they manage to subdue the monster and rescue the friends, taking them along to safety. Meanwhile, at command headquarters, preparations are underway for a strike against Kun. The commander is informed that some stations have gone dark. Without hesitation, he orders teams sent to investigate. One of the stations that abruptly lost contact, Chandu, prompts him to dispatch the Black Falcon squad. Back with the squad, they bring the group to their hideout, a former concert hall, and learn from John Lin that she was unable to repair the military vehicle. As Sha looks around in awe, she marvels at the sheer size of the hall. Her excitement is interrupted by the squad captain, who demands to know how they ended up on the surface. Unsure what to say, Ju blurts out that they arrived in a flying car. The military then requests identification to verify the group's identities. Reluctantly, they comply and soon discover that this is the Black Falcon squad, assigned to the Chandu station. For the mission, they need a vehicle. The matter is urgent and non-negotiable, so they must all travel together. Faye objects, insisting the car is his and he doesn't want to go anywhere. The squad ignores him. When they reach the building where their car is parked, they climb in, unaware that another passenger has joined them. On the way to Chandu, the friends discuss their plan of action. Ju suggests taking advantage of the moment, grab parachutes and jump out of the vehicle. They are flyers, which means that if they return to the city, they'll be detained. However, the girl is firmly against it. She insists it's far too dangerous. Their whispered conversation catches the attention of nearby soldiers, who demand they sit still. Just at that moment, the boss discovers a bug in the vehicle. Panic erupts in the car, but the more composed soldiers manage to destroy the creature. Suddenly, the vehicle begins to climb sharply. The whole group realizes a giant coon has appeared above them and is trying to suck them in. Sha suggests overloading the vehicle to release all its available energy at once. It could give them the boost they need to escape. Donning their parachutes, the squad prepares to jump, while the girl connects the wires. With a powerful surge, the vehicle bursts from the monster's grasp, only to explode after flying a short distance. The team lands hard on the ground. After checking that everyone is okay, the squad cautiously continues on foot, fending off Kunzi attacks along the way. Soon, they run into an entire swarm of bugs. Realizing they are surrounded, they have no choice but to fight their way back. The captain spots a subway entrance nearby and orders his people, along with civilians, to head inside. But as they approach, a massive monster emerges from beneath the ice. John Lin rushes to defend the group but fails. Seeing the creature about to grab them, Faye pushes Sha out of the way. Soldiers rush to help, and at the cost of one of their own, they manage to escape the bug and take shelter in the subway. Meanwhile, headquarters reports that Kun has appeared near Chandu station, although calculations indicated it should have shown up near Shen. The commander asks for precise coordinates and orders continued surveillance. Back at their temporary base, Lugan scolds the friends, saying that if not for their actions, Wanpei would still be alive. He then chastises John Lin for losing the crucial case she was entrusted with. Because of all their mistakes, his brother is dead. The captain interrupts Lugan, reminding him that this is neither the time nor the place for arguments. Seeing Faye upset, he reassures the young man that he is not responsible for the soldier's death. They all knew the risks and that losses were inevitable. Turning to John Lin, the captain hands her the device belonging to the deceased soldier and asks her to deliver it to his family. It contains all the recordings he made for his young son, a promise to show him Chandu one day, birthday greetings, a choice of gifts, apologies for missing out on watching him grow, and a vow to return home. Listening to the messages, the squad grows somber, reflecting on their own lives. Breaking the melancholy, Ju asks when they'll finally get home. His daughter is waiting for him. She has a vocal competition today, and he can't miss it. The captain decides it's time to move on and orders everyone to stay put while he goes to the surface to scout ahead. But Faye stops him after just a few steps, insisting he knows what's so important about the case that Wanpei gave his life for it. The captain explains that it contains the key to activating the nodal station. Communication with Chandu has been severed, and reaching it is critical. To ensure success, all stations must participate. Losing even one would jeopardize the entire project. At that moment, the man's radio crackles to life, and and a panicked voice reports that Chandu is under attack and needs immediate assistance. After a brief pause, the captain orders the squad to move toward the station. Kun's presence here is no accident, and they must protect it. John Lin agrees but suggests finding an alternative route. The surface is crawling with Kunzi, and they can't fight through. Faye volunteers to guide them, knowing a secret passage known only to flyers. Without hesitation, the team follows his lead. Descending into the subway, the group emerges into a tunnel. As they look around, frustration sets in. It's been 2 hours, and they still haven't reached the station. Faye discovers a side passage and tells them they are almost at the underground city of Chandu. Moving cautiously through the passage, the squad hears a noise. Suddenly, a bug stinger pierces the tunnel wall. In terror, everyone bolts forward, only to have the floor collapse beneath them around a corner. Meanwhile, headquarters receives new data. The radar tracks only Kunzi on the surface, but underground near Chandu, their numbers are far greater than expected. They also discover that all communication with Chandu's cities has been lost due to the bug attack. The commander realizes the monsters have infiltrated underground. Shaking off the fall, the squad looks around and realizes they have reached the city. To their horror, it's nothing but ruins. Monsters have learned to locate underground settlements. Despite the grim news, headquarters desperately tries to contact Chandu Station, only to receive silence in response. Meanwhile, the team makes their way through the ruins of the city. They see destroyed homes, the bodies of people who tried to defend their houses, and the lifeless forms of innocent children. One soldier is still alive. Spotting the squad, he beckons them over and, before dying, tells them about the attack. At that moment, the dead soldier's radio crackles to life, and someone on the other end struggles to reach Chandu Station. Grabbing the radio, the captain responds, reporting that the Black Falcon has reached Chandu. The commander immediately relays new information. According to their data, a giant Kun will appear over the station in exactly 30 minutes. They need to get there and prepare everything for the decisive strike. Standing tall, the captain orders his entire squad to reach the station at any cost. As they move through the ruins, they suddenly sense movement. Debris from the building shifts, and part of a structure collapses. Mo Fei and the captain fall along with it. After confirming that everyone is unharmed, the captain suggests splitting up. 2 paths lead to the station, one above, one below. Since they fell, they decide to take the lower path, planning to meet the others at the final point. Once the others leave, Faye asks the captain why he keeps saving him. The captain replies that a soldier never abandons a civilian. He then asks if Faye has been to Shanghai and about his parents, but Faye refuses to answer. Just then, a bug shrieks from above. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad reaches the station doors, worried they arrived before Mo Fei. Lugan reassures them, the captain will protect the young man. On the surface, the captain struggles to fight off Kunzi, but all his attempts fail. Running to the edge of a building, they realize they'll have to jump. Grabbing Faye by the collar, the captain hurls him across the gap and jumps after him. The monster leaps after them, but fortunately, it doesn't reach the humans and crashes downward. John Lin checks the station's integrity and finds there's no power, meaning they can't open the doors to the launch facility. Sha discovers that one of the cables has burned out and starts repairs, but at that moment, the bugs detect the squad and attack. She sends John Lin to assist Lugan while she continues fixing the power. Meanwhile, the captain and Mo Fei climb a tall building. At one point, the building begins collapsing, and Fei falls. Summoning every ounce of strength, he holds on and climbs back to the top. Amid the gunfire from soldiers fending off the bugs, Sha works on restoring electricity. After some effort, she succeeds and tells Ju to flip the switch. Grabbing the lever, he instantly pulls his hand back. It's under massive voltage. Concealing the burn on his palm, Ju uses his steel hand to operate the lever, enduring the pain to restore power. Thinking they've succeeded, the girl runs from the control room and calls for Ju. But the moment he lets go of the switch, the electricity fails again. At that moment, the captain and Mo Fei finally reach the others and save Lugan, who had been knocked down by a bug. United, the team fights off the monsters together. Seeing the dire situation and realizing they won't hold out for long, Ju decides to sacrifice himself. He sends Sha out of the room and locks the door behind her. Only his steel hand can withstand the voltage and give the others a chance to escape. Understanding what he plans, Faye tries to stop him, reminding him of his daughter. But Ju has already made his decision. He trusts the girl to Faye, who must now protect her. Clutching the lever, Ju endures immense pain to activate the gates. The squad begins retreating toward the doors. At one point, Lugan is injured. John Lin rushes to him, but he insists she leave him. He will cover their retreat. They must reach the station gates. Completing the mission is their only priority. Horrified by their losses, the remaining squad members enter the gates. As Ju lies dying, he thinks of his daughter, her singing, and the promise he made to attend her concert. He apologizes for breaking that promise. Through the closing gates, John Lin glances at her friend one last time. In the next instant, Lugan detonates explosives in his hand, obliterating all the nearby bugs. Once safe, Mo Fei desperately pounds on the gates. He can't believe that Ju sacrificed his life to save them. The others aren't in much better shape. Each mourns their own loss. Suddenly, they hear Kun's voice. Lifting their heads, the team sees the monster hovering directly above the station. Almost immediately, headquarters comes through on the comm. reporting that they'll need to strike, and it must be done before the creature gives birth. All stations worldwide will channel their energy to them. The fate of humanity now rests in their hands. Wasting no time, the team begins preparations. Stations across the globe report in, confirming they are ready to transmit energy. Meanwhile, all residents of the underground cities are informed about the upcoming strike on Kun. It's been confirmed that the Kuns can burrow underground, so every city must go on full alert. The deadly blow will come from the Chandu magnetic station, fueled by energy from stations worldwide. The attack carries unpredictable risks, yet people must believe it will succeed. These words stir both fear and hope, leaving everyone anxious yet eager to see what the future holds. Inserting the key, the team configures the launcher and reports to headquarters that they are ready. Almost instantly, the other stations confirm the start of energy transmission. As the energy flows into the launcher, a countdown begins. Once it reaches 0, the colossal Kun is within striking distance, and the captain presses the launch button. A massive magnetic beam shoots out, tearing open the monster's belly. Everyone involved watches with bated breath. But then, something goes wrong. John Lin realizes that the Chandu station wasn't meant to be the strike point. The charge is far too powerful for it. Headquarters immediately orders another shot, but the team reports the cannon is damaged beyond repair. Hearing this, the commander requests a link to all underground cities. With deep regret, he announces that the electromagnetic strike did not kill the monster. Now, all underground cities must enact the electromagnetic defense plan against the Kuns and follow military instructions. Panic erupts in the cities. Parents rush to collect their children from schools. Zhu's daughter waits for her father. A teacher comforts her, promising that her father will come. Residents begin doing what they never had time for before, calling loved ones, embracing family. At Chandu Station, Mo Fei and Sha Sha refuse to accept the end. She shares that she's from Sichuan and has never seen a panda, but now that doesn't matter. She's been above ground. John Lin admits that after the victory, she wanted to visit her mother to tell her daughter had just saved the Earth. Listening to her friends, the captain confesses that in his entire life, he regrets only one thing. He recalls events 20 years ago, the day the giant Kun descended on Earth. He had been wounded and saw a man trying to rescue his son, Fei, from the rubble. But seeing the enormous creature, the man chose to sacrifice himself for the child. Taking explosives from a soldier, he charged the monster and detonated himself. The captain has always considered himself a coward for letting a civilian take the hit. After the war, he received a medal, but he doesn't see it as undeserved. It rightfully belonged to Shen Fei's father. He tried to find the boy to give him the medal, but never succeeded. Hearing the captain's story, Mo Fei reveals that he is indeed Shen Fei. This admission doesn't surprise the captain. He had long realized it. With these words, he hands the medal to him. Taking it, Mo Fei painfully recalls his childhood. He had always thought his father didn't love him, was too busy with work, always critical, hence leaving him in the ruins. But one day, his father gave him a toy, the Monkey King. Now he understands that his father hadn't abandoned him but sacrificed himself for him. Despite the war, Fei managed to keep the toy. Holding it alongside the medal, he hatches a daring plan. Energy is accumulating in the magnetic key and will fire through the cannon. If the flying machine reaches the proper altitude, the key can be thrown directly into Kun's mouth. That would kill the monster and save humanity. As the best pilot, he can do it. The captain immediately relays the plan to headquarters. They calculate and realize there isn't enough energy. To make it work, city defenses would need to be disabled, a step they cannot authorize. The commander informs the team immediately. Hearing this, Mo Fei asks for permission to speak. He insists people must have a choice. They should decide whether to deactivate the defenses. If they choose this slim chance, it's not over yet. After a moment's thought, the commander grants Fei a link to all underground residents. He explains his plan and pleads for their help. Success is not guaranteed, but it's the last hope. Everyone must remember that the future of the next generations depends on them. For children who have never seen sunlight, the surface is not ruins but a future. Many have already sacrificed their lives. Some will never see their sons again, others will never attend their daughters' concerts, and some defended their comrades, but all have given hope. Under Fei's speech, the captain steps outside the station gates, ready for the final fight. The women finish the last adjustments to prepare the station for energy reception. Meanwhile, headquarters and the station realize the boy's words initially had little effect. Energy isn't flowing. But then, one by one, residents begin disabling defenses at home. One by one, cities join the energy transfer and the fight for their future. As the key charges, Sha Sha fashions a holder for it, and Fei readies himself for the mission. Before letting him go, the women say goodbye, extracting a promise that he will return, even if they doubt it. After farewells, he embarks on his final task. The captain holds the line to protect the station's entrance, buying Fei time. Seeing him take off, he sacrifices himself, detonating the bugs along with him. Flying from the station, dodging rocks in the sky, Fei approaches the monster's mouth. Underground, everyone awaits their fate in terror. Climbing atop his vehicle, Fei nears Kun, then with perfect aim hurls the key into its mouth. The resulting explosion tears the monster apart. Watching Kun die, Fei doesn't escape in time, and the blast engulfs his vehicle. Once the giant Kun is dead, all Kuns worldwide perish. City defenses reactivate, and residents realize they've won, except Sha Sha, who knows the victory came at Fei's cost. Later, walking through the city as people gather to return to the surface, Sha Sha encounters John Lin. They greet each other warmly. Then, Sha Sha heads to the house of her fallen friend. Tears in her eyes, she smiles at a car that suddenly appears before her. Inside is Mo Fei, waving happily. Smiling, she watches the vehicle ascend into the sky. Would you be willing to give your life to save humanity? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, give a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos.